Before the break, we asked which actress is the voice of Lady Whistledown in Bridgerton. Was it Meryl or Judy or Julie Andrews herself? And the answer is Julie Andrews. She narrates as Lady Whistledown, the great Julie Andrews. So welcome back to the show with Tessa and Jeff, and I'm delighted to say we are now joined by the actress Adjoa Andoh. Welcome! Great to see you.
Nice to be here.
So you're in so many shows. You're of course, we must mention Bridgerton, which is back next month, I believe.
Next month. They're splitting 8 episodes into 2 chunks of 4. So May gets 4 and June gets 4.
Okay, because my wife is obsessed. I mean, I can't even get near her during Bridgerton. Seriously.
Hello, dear. Get away from me.
Let me in the room. So we've got a clip of Adjoa in action from the new season as Lady Danbury. Take a look.
Well, there is some anxiety amongst the mamas that you have not yet selected a diamond.
A diamond is precious precisely because it is rare. I throw 1 diamond ball and anxious mamas expect a diamond every year. I threw a zebra ball once. Do they expect a new zebra each year?
Well, you are right. You have only named the diamond once. I believe it was Lady Whistledown who named the diamond the first year. How right she was about the Duchess.
So I was just sort of scouring the screen there, looking for the star of Dairy Girls who's joined you, Nicola Coughlan.
Well, she's been there from the very get-go, but this season is Nicola's shiny season.
Well, she's now front and centre, yeah.
She is front and centre, yes. Penelope and Pollen, or Penolin, as I like to call it. No one else calls it that.
Is that Luke Newton there?
It's Luke Newton, looking all buff and marvellous in his long coat. Yeah, I think everybody's excited for this season of Bridgerton because it's like the... I identify with this. You know, the people at the end of the school disco when they would put Knights in White Satin on for the smoochy number, and I'd be like, yeah, I'm going for a wee now. It's the Wallflowers. So I think Nick's character, Penelope, has been the daughter who's like, yeah, you're not going to get married. You've got to stay and look after mum. You're not going to have a future. There's nothing happening for you. So this is the season when it's like, well, excuse me. I think there is something happening for me.
That's good. Do you ever think about Lady Danbury that she could get a slice of the action at some point?
Yes, I do.
Because I think it's necessary.
I think it's absolutely necessary.
Especially as you're dressed in that clip like a virginal bride. I mean, you're waiting to be plucked from the bag.
Well, indeed, they're gardening and blooming. We have a lot of that going on, yes.
You also star in Queen Charlotte, which is a Bridgerton spin-off.
Yeah.
I could imagine them saying to you, we're going to do a Lady Danbury spin-off.
Well, you know. You may say that, Jeremy. I couldn't possibly comment.
Is it going to be like a Marvel franchise then, where we have a multiverse or what ifs? Who could have slept with who?
We're in Shondaland land, and you know they have got form for expanding series.
I'll tell you something funny. This is like ridiculous. I'm 60 next year.
No.
So So I'm dealing with the trauma of that. And I thought, what I'm going to do is I'm going to book out a cinema for lovely neighbours in my street and say, would you like to come and watch a film? So which one do I go? So I go for I look at the #1 film the year I was born, 1965, The Sound of Music. I've got to check it to see whether it's any good. It's amazing because
have you not seen it?
Never seen it.
Oh, it's a fantastic film.
And of course, Julie Andrews is still going strong through Bridgerton.
I know.
And it's an amazing. It's 3 hours long. But it's got everything. It's got Nazis and singing.
That's a great way to save money because, I mean, 3 hours when you don't have to feed or wine.
It's just for friends in the street. It's a different kind of thing.
But will you be serving alcohol during this 3 hour film?
I don't know. I don't know.
Something to keep you going?
I haven't thought it through, but I just thought I'll have to probably show that. It's 1965.
I think that's a lovely idea.
What about that? Now, also I mentioned The Red King, which I think starts tonight.
It starts tonight.
So, and this is different. I think we've got a clip here. So we're up the modern day now. But once again, you're posh. You're Lady Heather Nancaro.
Yes.
Grace, so lovely to meet you at last. I'm Heather Nancaro.
Oh, I didn't expect...
What? Me to look like me? No, I'm sure you didn't. So, potted history? My father fell in love in Ghana, brought his beautiful wife back to St. Jury, and here I am, via Oxford and a spell in Paris.
Well, I'm much the same. Nottingham, Newcastle, here.
I'm sorry I've taken so long to track you down. I wanted to welcome you to the island personally.
I was in the visitor centre yesterday, learning all about how Lord Nancarrow saved the island from Spanish flu. Your grandfather.
And a very sick man. Huntington's disease. It's hereditary.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, that brought the mood down. That's a serious illness, Huntington's.
It is a serious illness. The show is a real mix. So Toby Whitehouse has written, who wrote Being Human. We filmed it all in Northumbria, which are the most beautiful place in the world.
And it's bang up to date. So it's not Bridgerton.
It's corset-free, wig-free. Hooray! Into makeup, out of makeup. Yes, lovely.
And when I played the clip, I noticed you leaning forwards, and I thought, I don't know if you've watched it before. I don't know whether you've seen it yet.
Oh no, I have. I have. But I don't like watching myself. Who does? It's ghastly. But I watch bits for quality control to go, that thing you do, don't do it again.
Do you identify more with this or with Lady Danbury? Which is easier for you to slip into?
No, it's all easy. Because do your homework. I identify with somebody who pays me to dress up for a living.
Brilliant.
But, what was lovely about this show was that it was contemporary. I love crime, and it's crimey, but it's also a bit weirdy folk, creepy, taily stuff as well.
Yeah, we're into that. And it's on Alibi.
It's on Alibi, it's on Now TV, it's on
right.
Sky, and Anjali Mahindra plays the lead detective. There's a small island called St. Jory off the Welsh coast. Somebody's gone missing. It hasn't been well investigated. She's sent from the mainland under a cloud. And it's almost like, go over there. Go to the small place in the middle of the sea. And she arrives there and it's a bit like people are like,
I'm already thinking your character's hiding something.
Do you?
Yeah.
Well, no, my character, Lady Heather Nancarrow,
yes.
She is, the island, it's a bit feudal, and her grandfather was in charge of the island. She is now in charge of the island. She owns most of the properties on it. It's a bit like the feudal lord.
Right.
And so that island is for tourism. So having people going missing is not a good look for tourism. So she goes to meet this Grace to sort of say, I'm in charge here, sort this out. We need our tourists to come back.
Because I mentioned The Sound of Music, the gallery now upstairs, in their jacuzzi, as always, have now started a massive discussion about should I have The Sound of Music? And director Dan now says, no, you've got to have for a few dollars more.
Oh.
Which is, of course, Clint.
Bit more macho.
Our beloved Clint.
It's a bit, and it's 65. So I throw that. We may have to, at some point, explore this further. I wanted to ask you about the proms, by the way. The BBC saying we're still going to sing Rule Britannia and all the words. You right with that?
Even as a small child, I would sing Brew Britannia. In the Cotswolds. But, I think the proms is a very particular night, and I think people must make their own choices about what they do.
Yeah, OK. So let me mention part 1 of Series 3 of Bridgerton arrives on Netflix on May the 19th. The Red King starts tonight on Alibi at 9 p.m. and will be available to stream on Sky and Now TV. It's going to be a difficult choice, very difficult, different dramas.
Do them both.
Yeah, well, of course, yeah. Jeff in The Guardian, Wales, the 20-mile-an-hour thing has driven people potty in Wales.
Yes. Well,
although it might have saved children's lives, I don't know.
Well, this is the thing. You've always got to be mindful of the harm that can be done when you go up to 30 miles an hour. But people do feel that this limit exists on roads that didn't necessarily need it. And if you want to know that this is definitely a U-turn, is that somebody from the Welsh Transport Secretary has said it's not a U-turn. So it's definitely a U-turn.
Yeah.
The thing about this, the problem for the Welsh Government is that for drivers, it's a really unnatural speed to drive at. There are certain speeds which feel very odd. Trying to stay at 20 miles an hour is pretty difficult. So I guess politically, all that time you're doing that, the resentment that's building...
It's clearly built. I think what's happening is that Labour are getting worried that the election is going to be... If you want the whole country to be like Wales, vote Labour, because they've got a Labour government. And they're trying to undo some of the things. Tessa?
This really hits home for me. For the first time in 25 years, I have been not given one speeding offence, but 2 in 15 minutes in my mother's Fiat Punto on an empty A9 in Scotland. And every day now I dread the post coming, because obviously it was registered to her car. I had no idea I was even speeding.
Can you
I was
say
unaware
look, she was
that
at the wheel?
Well, no, because Mum is like, keep it away from me. They'll do me for age. Keep it away from me. She's like this.
I'm with your mother.
And actually, you can go to prison.
Yeah,
do you remember Chris
that
Huhn?
was a joke, yeah.
Oh, was it a joke? Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it was a joke. Chris Huhn went to jail.
I've been going there, Jeremy, because and
don't
what
do
I
that.
realised is this is the first time I've brushed up against the state for many decades. I feel, and it does.
How fast were you going, Tessa? Let's get down to brass tacks here.
Okay, it was an empty road on a Saturday. Well, it's not an
Doesn't
excuse.
matter.
And I was talking to my mother, and I totally fall on my sword
90.
here. No, it's a Fiat Punto. I was going at 72 in a 60 on the A9 in Scotland, an empty. But I mean, I own it. It was totally
I'd really
my
like you
mistake.
to represent yourself in court and go, it was a Fiat Punto. As though that has any legal
Until you come around
relevance.
the corner and there's a cyclist there.
But you know what the worst thing is? The SNP, they don't offer. I would love a speed awareness course because I'm so muddled, and now I've got these 6 points coming my way. I don't get in a car because I'm like, is it 20? Is it 30? What speed am I? And then you drive badly because you're anxious. And I would love a speed awareness, but they don't offer it. In
No,
Scotland.
it's interesting. They did you twice for the sake. Have you been done for speeding?
Of course, everyone's been done for speeding, haven't they?
I bet Jeremy hasn't.
Well, I've been rarely driving. The main issue I've got with speed is my wife says you cannot drive anymore because you drive too slowly. So I'm I'm driving at 15.
I had that when I was learning to drive.
I'm genuinely scared.
My driving instructor said, you have to go faster. I was like, I'm in a killing machine.
Yeah, that's it. That's what I say to my wife. If I go up to 22, 23, who knows what will happen?
Yeah.
So Tessa, in The Independent, I think we got some pictures. Oh, this was so miserable. We're talking about Rule Britannia. Now, look, so there's a St. George's Day rally, and the very first thing I see online is this. So there's some sort of ruckus. Tessa, what does this make you think?
I mean, this is absolutely what you would imagine. And the upsetting thing is that it's captured the headline. St. George's Day, yesterday, rally in central London, turns violent. Police in riot gear clashing with men draped in flags. I mean, you couldn't make it up. I just want to say, as a counterpoint to this, on Saturday, the Royal Society of St. George conducted or held a rally by the Cenotaph, which I attended because I was really interested to know what was going to unfold. And it was very sweet, actually. It was not particularly well attended, but I said to one of them...
Has that got anything to do with this?
No, but we're talking about this.
Yeah.
A few thugs, Tommy Robinson, oh, let's hear it, and, the usual quotes, the England football players will get down on one knee, I have some advice, get off your knees, score some goals and bring it home. That was the kind of thing going over the megaphone. And I just wanted, as a counterbalance, say that there was this really sweet event, and I said to them...
There is also, in certain social media circles, a desire to amplify this, to say that this is what people who are patriotic are like. If we see that clip there, obviously you don't want to see that, but what was that, 30... Very
40.
angry, 30 to 40.
They should all be on a speed
very
awareness
angry
course.
people.
No,
this is a country of 55 million people, so let's not let that define.
No, it's true, but it is. It's all, you just know you're going to see that. Do you think it should be when you get arrested for being on a march and causing havoc like that, and they were trying to go somewhere they weren't allowed to go, that it should be aggravated if you are wearing an England flag, because and so in other words you get the sentences doubled.
Why?
Because it will stop yobs wearing the England flag, which is annoying.
Other people might want to wear the England flag.
But not commit crimes when they're doing it. That's fine.
I might want to wear a flag as a climate protester saying "Make England better at reducing."
Don't do it when you're speeding. Don't wear an England flag while you're committing a crime.
No.
Or you go to jail.
No.
But
we should be, when the World Cup is on, from my kitchen window, which is on the first floor, I have a flag of St. George out and a Ghana flag out.
And you're not committing a crime.
No, but the point is I don't think we shouldn't attach the flag to exacerbating something like that. We should re-own the flag because all nations want to celebrate their country and we should be able to celebrate our country.
These guys, I noticed, if we have a little look at this again, this clip, they've found flags that are large enough to wear as capes. This is quite an unusual size of flag.
It's like Cape Crusaders, isn't it?
We do need to reclaim this. It's really interesting that neither of the political parties, I think an easy win is St George's Day should be a public holiday or move to the weekend when people can enjoy it fully. Why do so many countries have a national day that has a public holiday, but neither of our parties have gone near
Jeff,
that?
there you are as the patriotic comedian. Where were you? I was at the Cenotaph on Saturday with the Royal Society of St George. Where were you, my friend?
I was in a writing room writing jokes.
Quite right.
There we are.
And
I was at the cold face of comedy.
Nation spirits.
Yes.
Yeah,
The Dame Vera Lynn of comedy.
Adjoa's still got a story in the Times. Acting story we've given you here because it's about, I think, Anne Hathaway, who says she was asked to kiss several men.
Yes. Now, what was it? So I haven't brought my glasses on, so I'm going to peer. What was interesting in this story for me, so it's about a chemistry test. So a chemistry test is where they will put two actors who have to have a romantic chemistry on screen and see if they do. You might do it as a read, you might do it as in her case, full-on snogging. She says, I was told we have 10 guys coming today in your cast. Aren't you excited to make out with all of them? And I thought, is there something wrong with me? Because I wasn't excited. I thought it sounded gross. I was so young and terribly aware how easy it was to lose everything by being labelled difficult. So for me, that's the key thing. It's about that anxiety of being young and feeling powerless and not wanting to be tricky. I mean, these days, things are much better. You know, we are, all the work that I've done recently, there's always an intimacy coordinator, which is like a fight director for sex.
Yeah.
So when I started out, it would be me, the director, and the bloke.
What sort of people apply for those jobs? It worries me a bit.
The
intimacy.
They're usually fight directors as well. So,
Okay,
it's literally about choreographing. I'm going to go there. So the camera knows what the shots is. No one's embarrassed. Nobody sort of improvises or goes off piste.
Yeah.
But
Okay,
is there
kissing
a
10
generational thing here, though? Because I talked to a very famous actress about our generation,
Yes.
and she said, oh, it's like getting extra for free. And I wonder if a bit like the wolf whistle, it's changed the perception of enjoying kissing on screen.
Well, that might be that person may enjoy it, but for the majority of people who may feel slightly more trepidatious about it, having it in a sort of ring fence context, I think
10 is a lot. Yeah.
is better.
Yeah.
I mean, what she did say, which I thought was interesting as the debate is evolving, she sort of said she had no accusation and she was cautious to say, look, I don't think I was being abused. It was about context, but she was saying, I'm glad it's changed now. And it was a very evolved way of looking at it.
Because the thing is that most actors are very keen to, you'd like me to do what? Jump from the, 20 foot, no, that's fine, I'm sure I'll just bounce.
Cool. As a young reporter, you do anything.
Exactly, it's young people, isn't it, trying to make their way.
Is. You never want to say no. Hey, listen, there's a picture of Keir Starmer we should have a look at here. So he's now wearing Adidas shoes. So there's obviously was a disaster for Adidas when their shoes were worn by the Prime Minister. They were Sambas. He's wearing Gazelles. So does that mean, it's interesting, does that mean that the Gazelles are gone now as well?
No, Gazelles are old. I wear Gazelles. They're hip and groovy from the olden days. I think, so that brand is so established. He's not saying anything fabulous with that. I mean, Rishi was wearing hip, new groovy ones, wasn't he?
And also, Rishi is Prime Minister. Tessa, we were saying, I was chatting in the break to Tessa saying Dunlop is such a great name because it makes me think of running.
And I used to always wear
wearing
Green
a Dunlop?
Flash. I'm not wearing a Green Flash Dunlop. I used to.
Did you?
One of the reasons is I broke my ankle, and ever since then I've wanted a bit of bounce. And I came home with these a couple of days ago. Husband and teenage daughter have disowned me, say I'm too old for them.
What's
I think
that?
they are Skechers.
Skechers?
I feel $1 million in my Skechers. Apparently, I'm too old.
Okay.
This is what I say. As a man, I'm coming up on 50, and they said that he was wearing them because he was doing a lot of steps that day and walking with Yvette Cooper. You need the arch support. Come on, mate.
Yeah.
You're not getting any younger. You need a beveled front toe.
All right.
God, we went technical there.
I like your white sort of loafers. Yeah.
Brenson's.
Oh, they say something on the bottom, the triple welt.